Welcome back to Owlchemist Tarot, serving tarot straight up. So this is going to be your September monthly reading, and I'm going to be doing it a little different this month. I've run out a little bit of time, but also just kind of seeing what works and what people like and what they don't. So I'm going to be doing by elements, okay? So I'm going to be starting with earth signs because we are officially in Virgo season. So I'm going to be doing earth signs. I'm going to be doing Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, really just quick snippets on what you guys can expect for the month of September. I cannot believe it's September, truly. It's like this year has gone by fast, but also not. So I'm going to be pulling an oracle card. It's the Soul's Journey lesson card, and then some tarot. So I'm just going to be pulling kind of overall what's going to be going on. And again, I'm going to be doing Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus, and just in the order that they come in, just so you guys know. Okay, so let me just pull one for Virgo. Okay, and Virgo, I'm just going to be pulling a couple cards just to see what you guys are going to be going through. And again, if you are interested in a full reading, all that stuff's in the description. And let me just take a minute. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe so you know when new videos go live. And if you're a return subby, I always appreciate it. So Virgo, what's going on for September? Okay, let's see. All right, interesting. Okay, so the oracle card that we got was change for you guys, Virgos. It says, I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. I feel like for a lot of you, you have to be the conduit of change this month. Virgos, you're really good about weighing the pros and cons. You're really detail oriented, always looking, at the right scenario. You're very organized. Sometimes, however, you might stall change or making a decision because you're really trying to overthink a situation, because in a way you want all the boxes checked. Virgos, you can be known as perfectionists, which is not a bad thing. It's just that sometimes you get too focused on one outcome that you may not see the other opportunities that are around you. So change this month might be inevitable. And for many of you, you kind of just have to surrender and let go, and that there's certain things you really can't control. First card out of the gate, 8 of Pentacles in reverse. I think for a lot of you, you guys have been working harder, not smarter, Virgos. And this is also, and this is going to be really hard for some of you, actually asking for help. Now, the 8 of Pentacles usually is the student teacher card, meaning that it's sometimes when the mentor comes into your life, and or you guys are being guided by somebody who's maybe more versatile or more experienced. I feel like for a lot of you guys are working harder, not smarter, because you just don't know another path or way to do it. Okay, so for some of you, it's okay that you don't know everything, and we don't all know everything. So Virgos, this might be the month that you actually have to change your perception and way you approach something, and actually ask for assistance and help. I know a lot of you are like, oh, but it's almost like if you just raise your hand and ask a simple question, you might get all the answers you've been struggling to find. And I feel like, again, you guys have been working so hard behind the scenes, but you haven't really made a lot of progress yet. And this month you can change that by just raising your hand, okay? Now, I do think for a lot of you, you're very fixated on something, things that haven't maybe worked out in the past, or setbacks that you've experienced, obstacles. So you're very focused on what not to do. And especially if you're trying to run a business, or you're trying to be an entrepreneur, or you're doing something on your own for the first time, there's a lot of life lessons, and there's a lot of on-the-job skills and training that you're going to get, right? So for a lot of you, don't fixate on the things that haven't worked out or you haven't seen success. I think for many of you, you're going to have to really dig in deep and find that patience that you may or may not have. But again, don't look at the things that haven't worked out as setbacks or being unsuccessful, because really you probably learned many things. And a lot of it is that if you just ask for help, this is somebody that might be able to kind of get you to look at a situation a lot differently, and that there's probably a lot of benefit, and there's could be opportunities lying there, but you just can't see them for what they are. Okay, and I do think that if you this month, Virgos, if you're able to raise your hand and ask for help, and you're kind of because that's hard for you, and kind of step out there and put yourself out there and be a little bit more vulnerable, you actually might get out of your own way. The Six of Swords, like this is actually you moving into an entirely different, situation. Like mentally, you're going to be a lot calmer and focused because you don't have to go at it alone, Virgo. Whatever you're doing this month, September, like you don't have to do it by yourself. So don't be so hard on yourself. I know that's easier said than done. But again, the Six of Swords is moving to calmer waters, a calmer state of mind, having you more peace and understanding and more stability. So if you just ask for help, I really feel like you might be able to get there a lot quicker. Virgo, you'll figure it out no matter what. But again, do you want to go the long way or the short way? Okay, so Virgos, I really do hope that you find a little bit of assistance, and let's see what's going to be going on for Capricorns. Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn, let's see what's going on for September. Capricorn, awesome, okay. And let's see what we have for Tarot Capricorn for September. Capricorn for September. Okay, all right. Okay, so the Oracle card that came out is gratitude, and it says, I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. So Capricorn, you're such a hard worker, and that you will put so much time and energy behind something, especially if you're passionate behind it or you're investing in something yourself, so to speak. I really do feel like this is a time in your life, especially September, where you are really throwing yourself out into the unknown a little bit. It's like you're starting to become more awakened. You're starting to understand without being told. And I know that kind of sounds weird, but it's almost like you have this way of figuring things out this month. Grateful, just having gratitude in general, I really do feel like for a lot of you, it will just kind of help your mental well-being and stay in a positive mindset. I'm sorry if you can hear background noise. There is a moth in my office and my cat has like locked eyes on it. So I'm hoping that like you won't see a cat fly through the screen. I do think for many of you, you've gone through quite a bit. Even probably a little bit of self-sabotage and kind of noticing those behaviors and patterns, Capricorn. So kind of grateful that you've caught it and you're starting to recognize, that you can kind of, redirect yourself and redirect the way of thinking. Because sometimes we all get in a rut and kind of get stuck. And if you can mentally kind of talk your way through it, I think that's half the battle. So we got the Nine of Swords. This is always a tough energy to work with September. In September that you might be dealing with. For some of you, this certainly could be, going through some inner work, some shadow work, just some healing work. For a lot of you, there's a situation that's been very stressful that you've been overthinking about. And not saying overthinking, but you just have been thinking a lot about. This is something that you've been losing sleep. It's like kind of an inner battle, I think, for many of you. Maybe an outside situation, but certainly an inner battle because many of you are at a crossroads and you have to make a decision, and this has really been weighing hard on your heart and your head. But a lot of it too is that what you don't want to do is assume every outcome or every situation or every discussion. Like you kind of have to take things at face value, and you have to just be open and honest how you feel and what you think, and let the chips fall where they may. So overthinking is not going to solve the solution or give you the solution that you're looking for, Capricorn. I think with the Ace of Swords, you've been in the reverse. You've been doubting yourself quite a bit, and this month it's really, Capricorn, you can be really hard on yourself because you are such a hard worker, and if you don't have certain results or productivity or results to show, it's like you think that you're not doing what you need to do, and that's not the case at all. I think mentally you need to give yourself a break a little bit this month. You know what I mean? Like sometimes your creativity can stall and stop when you're trying to force it. So this is very much about learning to be a little bit more in the present and just let your mind like, just be. Don't try to force an idea. Don't try to force a situation, you know, because when you do try to force it, it's like the downloads and the synchronicities and the signs and, you know, kind of those creative juices, they'll just stop because it's like it's not coming naturally. There could have been there was maybe a new beginning or a hope of a new beginning, and there's kind of been a false start. It doesn't mean that it won't pick up, but there's things that are happening in the background that you're not aware of that just need to kind of play out. So Capricorn, all I can tell you is sometimes you have to learn how to be still. And I don't know why Spirit keeps saying that, but for some of you, you're like, I can't. Some of you, rest could be the answer to a lot of your problems. So you got Two of Wands, which is always a really great card. And I think that people in your life, partnerships, friends, family, and even peers that you trust, maybe with your situation or kind of giving them a scenario to kind of give you, you know, idea like, hey, I have a friend who's asking, you know what I mean? Like kind of like that. They might be able to help you get out of your own way. I feel like teamwork is really going to be the dream work for you. Like you, in Capricorn, I know it, you know, you have no problem working in a team, but a lot of things you like to go on your own because like you like to have kind of full control and you don't like anyone managing you or telling you what to do or like making you feel like you don't have the answer to the idea. But this month, I think you kind of need the extra energy from someone else to kind of help you look past the problem. Because the solution isn't very far away and it's not complex. It's just that you're making it harder on yourself to actually get to it. And I think that makes sense with the Nine of Swords. It's like you're really, you know, it's almost like the quickest way, what did they say? It's like the quickest way is a straight line. I know I'm missing part of that saying. But like the quickest way to get anywhere is like a straight line, right? But I think for you, it's like you're going all over the place and you can't get to the ultimate like end result that you're looking for. The solution isn't hard, but it's like you're overcomplicating it. So there's going to be somebody that you could connect with or align with either at work or outside of work that can definitely get you more in a better vibration, like even a mental state. It could be a friend or a buddy that like just like knows how to make you laugh, and it kind of puts you in a better state of mind to kind of like work and think, and then things kind of just kind of click into place. So don't force yourself, like let yourself just kind of be. You know when you lose something and then all of a sudden you forget about it and you find it? It's kind of like that, okay? Okay, so let's talk about Taurus. Taurus, let me make sure that these cards are not like I pull the exact same ones. Like no one wants that. Okay, so Taurus, what's going on? For September. And you guys have to let me know if you like this style of reading. Again, I'm just trying to figure out like what people resonate with and what people like. Kind of keeping it fresh, kind of like changing it up a little bit. Just to see, because okay, I'm gonna pull another card because that, even though I did shuffle quite a bit, like I do feel like I'm gonna pull one more for Taurus just because like a similar card came out, so I don't want anyone to think that I didn't shuffle. All right, Taurus. I try to keep the shuffling on camera to a minimum just because no one wants to sit through 25 minutes of like shuffling. Taurus, what's going on in September, Taurus? And these readings are for your sun, moon, or rising. So, you know, again, sun, moon, or rising. That one flipped over and I am gonna take it, so, okay. Okay, so the card that came out for the Oracle is changed, and we got this for Virgo, but I pulled another one and we got peace. So I think Taurus, okay, now I know how much you dislike change, Taurus, but I feel like if you're more open this month of September, you actually might get the peace or create the peace that you've always been looking for. So sometimes you have to get out of your comfort zone, Taurus, to actually create ultimately what you want. A lot of times we think that everything happens in a linear way. So like in our head, we have this narrative that we create naturally that we're like, okay, well, I'm going to do A, B, C, D, and then I'm going to get all the way to Z. Well, life isn't that linear. So Taurus, you might, I mean, this might be like a merry-go-round. It might be all over, kind of like a roller coaster, and like you'll end up where you want to go. But I think if you resist change too much and you try to control everything, you're not going to get there as quickly as possible. So again, I think sometimes you just kind of have to like jump in. The water's fine and it's all going to work out, okay? So first card that came out, it was Four of Cups. Okay, so I feel like for some of you, Four of Cups can be kind of like boredom, you know what I mean? For a lot of times it's just like you're being offered something, or opportunities are coming, or even like potential people that you can meet that, you know, are interested in you, but you might not be interested in them. Like just the vibes aren't there, right? So for some of you, it's like there hasn't been really anything that has really made you super passionate or excited. And I feel like this is work, actually. Like I feel like for a lot of you, you've kind of just been, you know, even though these are cups and it's kind of could be more emotions and relationship, but I feel like you're kind of bored, but also you don't want to rock the boat. Like I feel like a lot of you are just like, you know what? It's steady, easy. I know it's going to come. I'm not going to give any curveballs. Like I know it's going to happen every week. Like it is what it is. So there's like this familiarity and kind of just consistency that you're used to. I think a part of you wants a change and a little bit more responsibility or something, but I also think that you don't want to rock the boat too. Well, you can't have it both ways. I definitely think that there are some things that are probably, like, I feel like you have this gut feeling that there could be something that is an undercurrent of change that could be happening. And like you might have been feeling like maybe some waves, but like for the most part, it hasn't impacted you directly, Taurus. The High Priestess is the keeper of the secrets. This is very much where there's certainly things happening in the background that are, you know, deals being done. There's, you know, maybe some people are maneuvering, trying to get ahead, maybe throwing your name out there, but you don't know exactly what it is. Like you can feel like there might be some change in the air, which may or may not be very settling for you. Because again, Taurus, you like to control the change. You don't like to be the impact of feeling what other change is happening. Excuse me. You don't like to feel the impact of change when it is controlled by someone else. So I would say like this is trusting your gut and your intuition. Like if your antennas are starting to kind of I think like there is something going on in the background. Work-wise, there could be a change in leadership. There could be a change in position. It doesn't necessarily feel like anything bad. It's just kind of like shocking. It's a little bit of an abrupt change. So you're just like, oh, that happened right like overnight. This could also be a different change in like pace of work, meaning that you could have a lot more responsibility and it's like you're taking on somebody else's job plus yours. So there's quite a bit that's being asked of you and you really haven't had the time to kind of like grasp everything that's going on. You're just being asked like get in there and do it. And you really don't know like the plan moving ahead and what's like what's going to be expected of you moving forward, if this is like a forever thing or if this is temporary. Things are happening so quickly that you're just trying to have to like keep up with it, which again is not very, it's kind of like, ugh. I think this is a little bit of gonna be a frustrating time maybe in September, because again, you don't, as the King of Swords in reverse, like you're not really the one that's calling the shots. There's there could be some legal matters that are happening at the top that again, like that's forcing. So it's almost like, you know, like the cog in the wheel. Sometimes like when CEOs make a decision that's really abrupt and fast, like that turns the top wheel really quickly, and all the cogs underneath it have to like move much more quicker just to keep up with the pace. It's kind of like that for a visual. This is going to be kind of a frustrating time, I think, at September, because there's, again, a lot asked of you, but again, you're not necessarily making the decisions or in charge. So you're kind of at the whim of somebody else's, you know, thoughts or desires or wants, like, aren't we all? This is also, Taurus, you're very independent and you like to think for yourself. Like, you don't like being told what to do. So I feel like there's a lot of back and forth, and you're not getting the clear answers that you're looking for. It will smooth out soon, but this month could be a little rocky. So keep your cool, calm demeanor about you. That's like going to be your meal ticket. Be as grounded as possible. Don't sweat the small stuff. Just let things roll off your back, because if you blow up, then it's going to be it's going to make everything worse. So there's information and details that you're not privy to yet. And I think it has to do with something legal, because there's attorneys involved. So I don't really know what that means. It could be different for all of you, but it definitely feels work related. Interesting. Okay. Let me see if I'm getting any other messages. The insights or like chit chat or gossip, like water cooler talk that you're hearing from your colleagues, like take it with a grain of salt, because no one really knows. That's what Spirit keeps saying. So everyone's kind of like in the same boat. Like, no one really knows more than the other. So don't guess or assume. Like, wait for the facts, okay? And the King of Swords really goes based on facts and data. It doesn't go, so it's like you want to hear the information or the update from the horse's mouth, not just from, like, you know, the grapevine. Like, that's not going to help anybody. So stay out of the drama, which Taurus, you always do anyway. Like, you don't pull any punches. Like, you let people know exactly where they stand with you. And don't worry about it, because, like, ultimately, you're going to come out on top. Like, you're going to come out smelling like roses. Just keep yourself grounded, cool, calm, and centered, and you'll be fine. Okay? So, I hope you guys like these readings. Leave a comment if you like them, or if you like your zodiac reading. I really do appreciate, or the element reading. Again, if you guys don't follow me on here, subscribe. TikTok, Instagram, you know the deal. So yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon, and thanks so much.